Without the choroid, the retina can't function properly. And that can lead to eye problems down the road like myopia, macular degeneration, and other conditions where the light-sensitive cells at the back of the eyes are affected. I'm Dr. Samantha Lee. I'm a Senior Research Fellow at the Lions Eye Institute in Perth, Australia. Straight after high school, I had an important decision to make, mainly what course I would like to do. I chose optometry because at that time I was in Singapore and optometry was one of the more difficult courses to get into. It was also one of those courses where you had a very clear career path after you graduate. So I did optometry and turns out it was completely the wrong decision for me. Not because it was boring or too difficult or anything like that. It was mainly because it just wasn't for me. It wasn't compatible with my personality. As simple as that. But luckily, as part of the course, each of us had to do a research project. And I realized that I really enjoyed the research process. Also, it turns out I was pretty good at it. So immediately after graduating, instead of working as an optometrist like all of my other classmates did, I went to work as a research assistant in Singapore and went on to do my PhD in Brisbane in the Queensland University of Technology. Once I've completed that, now I'm here in Perth, Western Australia, working on one of the most exciting eye projects in the world. Here in the Lions Eye Institute, I am part of the Genetics and Epidemiology Research Group. One of the projects that I'm working on is a focus on a structure of the eye called the choroid, which is the structure responsible for providing nutrients and blood supply to the retina. You can think of the choroid as the power grid of the retina, like how a power grid supplies electricity to an entire city so that the city can function. The choroid provides nutrients and oxygen to the retina. Without the choroid, the retina can't function properly. And that can lead to eye problems down the road like myopia, macular degeneration, and other conditions where the light-sensitive cells at the back of the eyes are affected. Like how a power grid can be affected by things like how old it is, weather conditions, and even how well it was initially designed, our choroid can be affected by how old we are, our lifestyle, and even our genes. So my research looks at how all of these different factors affect the choroid from a very young age and how those can lead to eye problems down the road. My research is being funded by the Perth Eye Foundation and the Western Australia Future Health Research and Innovation Fund. It is human nature to be curious, and my work allows me to satisfy that curiosity. And I love being the first person to discover new things. As a scientist and researcher, sometimes you discover new things on purpose, sometimes you discover new things by accident. Regardless of whether it's on purpose or not, being the first person in the world to discover something new is a wonderful feeling, and that keeps me going. Research, although very, very exciting, can be very stressful. So at the end of the day, sometimes I like to go to a boxing gym and punch the bags till my heart's content. And on my days off in the morning when the sun is not too hot, or rather when the UV is not too strong and it's not too hot yet, I like to work on my garden. And when it gets hotter during the middle of the day, that's when I retreat indoors and just play on my Xbox.